Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So, this is part 4 of my visit to Stourbridge Antiques Fair. Almost said centre there because I normally do antique centres. But anyway, in this part I'm going to show you the things that myself and my wife bought at the fair. Yeah, not just me was buying glass. But before we do that, if you remember back to the beginning of part 2 of this journey, I showed you this decanter in relation to something we saw at the fair. Let me show you what we saw at the fair.
So here's a couple of carafes. This is the one. It's got a square top like the one we were looking at. It's got a dimpled body like the one we were looking at, but it has a milled neck. This is milled. Milled means it's like the edge of a coin. Can you see? And I will do a video on this kind of carafe because I've got quite a few of them, and I'll drag them out. And yeah, and this one here, which has the same neck as the one we were looking at, but everything else it's the same kind of thing, but not the same at all, really. But anyway, I think this one matches the Whitefriars pattern, but it might not be. It's got a slightly oval shape, can you see? I think, and it's got slight ribbing, so there's a reasonable chance this one is a Whitefriars one. But anyway, let me show you now the new piece of information.
So here we are. I've frozen this little bit of film here to show you the carafe that we were looking at in the fair, which has a square top, and it's got a frill around the neck, and then it's got some dimples. Yeah, so that's it. This is the best shot of it because the camera was moving around a bit, and we've got all this other beautiful glass all around it. But yeah, this is the carafe I was specifically talking about. Now, it was pointed out to me by Nigel, the owner of this stall, that yeah, mine is Stuart, but this is not quite the same. I don't think I thought it was the same exactly. And I will show you what the difference is. And I have some new information. Yes, so I will share that with you too. This picture was sent to me by Richard Cathoven, and he's the chap that actually runs Premier Glass Fairs, and this is a picture from the Whitefriars archive. And look at this one here. Now, it's a bit blurry at this point. Maybe if I shrink it, it might become a bit clearer. Don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, this one you can see by this crease of light down here that it's actually got a square top. It looks like it's got a frilly neck. It's got the dimples. So this one matches the one we were looking at, and I think it's got a slightly rounder body as well, like the one we were looking at. So as this is from the Whitefriars archive, this picture, it's a strong indication that that carafe we were looking at is most likely to be Whitefriars. Now, it's difficult to prove a negative, as in we can't prove that nobody else didn't make it without actually having a copy of everybody else's catalogues, which we do not have. But it's looking like Whitefriars from this picture is the most likely attribution of that carafe. So not Stuart, even though it's got a square top. But yeah, because as I said, labels and catalogues come first, and this is a closer match to what we were looking at than the one I have. And I think I said when I was saying I've not seen anything from Whitefriars, I've not seen it in the catalogues, but there is this picture. Dun dun dun. So there we go. Something. As I said, you can never be 100%, but that's looking pretty good. So I hope you didn't mind that little interlude, but I can do a correction. I can't actually edit into a film once I've made it, so it's either a matter of pulling it completely or doing correction like this. But anyway, I have 11, I think, different types of that type of decanter. So I think that's more than enough to do a video on them. Some of them I can firmly attribute and some less so, but we can play with that, and maybe some people might be able to help me like I've been helped with this. So yeah, thank you, Richard, that was great. And anyway, with that said, let's get on and we'll look at some of the bits of glass that we bought. We'll start with my wife's eclectic purchases, and then we'll move on to my still eclectic purchases too. So let's get on and have a look at some glass. So this is the first piece my wife bought. It's a half an owl bookend. Bookends, because there should be another owl like this. It has like a paper bit underneath. I think it looks very kind of original. And then on the back it has this label here, Rastal, it says. So my wife likes two kinds of glass. She likes this kind of cast pieces, and she likes rock crystal. And anyway, so I've done a bit of checking around. Obviously we've got the label, which is perfect, and it's made by a company called Rastal, which is a German company. And so what have I known? They're still going today, but they don't make any kind of art glass today. It looks like their stock in trade is like beer glasses and wine glasses and that kind of thing. They make those bottles for SodaStream, the one with this like wavy pattern that goes around them. We actually have some because we have a SodaStream. And yeah, so other than that, because when I googled Rastal Glass Owl, only one pair of bookends like this appeared, and yeah, they don't know either. So I don't know how old it is. Looking at the label, it says it's not ancient, but it could be, could be from the 1990s, it could be the 2000s, it could be the 2000 teens. It could be, the fact that Rastal don't make any form of art glass now kind of implies that it's probably, 10, 20 years old or whatever, at least. Potentially it can fit into the vintage. It feels like something from, do you know what I mean? The look of it is what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel modern. It looks like something from the 70s to me, but then it might be newer. I suspect it is newer. It's very clear at the back. Yeah, and it's got a little bit of wear on it. I mean, this paper label is obviously disguising the wear, but that paper label itself, this, which I believe is just to stop it from scratching anything, itself is a bit worn. So yeah, haven't been able to pin it down. My wife wouldn't tell me what she paid for any of this stuff, so yeah, I suspect overall she spent more than I did when you look at the next piece I'm going to show you. So this is the next piece my wife bought. It's water jug,
rock crystal, late Victorian, I think. I don't know who made it. Maybe Stephens and Williams, maybe Thomas Webb. I don't know who else. But anyway, it is really fine. Finer than any of the rock crystal I own. So look at this. Look at that work. Yeah. Look how fine that is. And it goes underneath. Look at that. And then look at the back of the handle as well. Yeah, this is amazing work. Especially when you look, see how thin the glass is. Look how thin that is. Yeah, this is not super heavy. This is not some chunky piece of glass. It's actually quite light. And there's all this work. I imagine the breakages on this in making these. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that a great piece? Yeah. So I can't knock a taste on that. I don't think it was cheap. It's absolutely fantastic piece of glass. And yeah, over 100 years old, I think, but I can't pin it any more than that, and I wouldn't like to. I'm not an expert on this, you know. This is the kind of stuff where you need to go back to the factory drawings and find it, and I don't have those. And yeah, my guess would be Stephens and Williams, but then it might be Thomas Webb, or it might be someone else. Anyway, so yep, there we go. So this is the first piece that I bought. This is a Strombergsheiten bowl. Yep, it's an E441 from the 1930s, imported by Elpherson to the UK. Yep. And yeah, I bought it off Chris Parry, who runs the charity car boot and charity shop art glass Facebook group. Yeah, got that right the second time. And yeah, he's a very nice chap. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it, because one, it started out reasonably cheap, and then he gave me a really decent discount, and I wouldn't tell you what it is because I don't want people hitting on him to get such a discount from anybody else. He was just being really nice to me. Oh, and this is what you want to see from a dealer who knows what they're doing. Yeah, Strombergsheiten Elverson pattern E441 1930s. So yeah, he knows it well. And look, you can see it's got an optical in it. It's six-sided. Yeah, and the colour is called straw. This is something I specifically collect, that I'm willing to pay money for. And yeah, so I have quite a bit of this 1930 Strombergsheiten glass, and yeah, and I will continue buying it whenever I can find it. So yeah, I really like it. It's not very common. So yeah, I will move on and show you. Oh no, I'll show you this in the catalogue too. This magazine is the Journal of the Glass Association, Volume 8 from 2008, and this is a facsimile of the 1930s Elverson catalogue for importing glass. They call it Swedish Heavy Optic Glassware. And there is the bowl with the pattern number, the sizes. I think mine is a, I'm not sure I didn't actually measure it. I think it's a 9.5, which would make it 7 shillings and threepence. Yeah, that's how much it would have been, because these other numbers here are the prices.
I think it is a 9.5. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There it is. And yeah, most of this stuff that's in here, I've only ever seen it as line drawings, apart from most of the ones that I own. So yeah, it is not hard. It is quite hard to find because I'm trying to memorize these line drawings. I don't really know what the things look like until I see them, and then I'm thinking, I think it's that. And yeah, I'm learning though. So these are the last things I bought at the fair. They are both late 18th century Irish decanters. Okay, I'm going to show you, I've probably shown you this before, but I'm going to show you again why they're Irish. But also, these stoppers are wrong. Yeah, and I'm going to show you why they're wrong, and also what I've done about that. So and also there is no exact match for either of these decanters in any of my books. Okay, so now I'll take this stopper out. I'll start with this one. Okay, so it's got a nice shouldered shape. This is the stopper that came with it, and if you look here, this has never been fitted for a stopper. I can run my finger in there and I can feel a bit of a tool mark just there, but in actual fact this has never been fitted. So it's not rough fitted, it's not smooth fitted or anything. It's never been fitted for a stopper. It has a slight blibby on the edge of this there, on the lip. And the thing that makes you certain that it's Irish is this base. Yeah. The only other people that did bases like this were American ones, and I don't know why it's got that number on it. I'll have to take that off. Sometimes they have the name of the company pressed into this part of the base. This one doesn't have it. You can see a bit of frit there. But yeah, so put that back there so it's far enough away so you can see all of it. Okay. Now, I don't have an exact match for that in my books. So, what kind of stopper would it have? But what I do have that's mine is this slightly smaller decanter, which is the same shape. This has the same slim pouring lip. The rings on this are bladed, the ones on this are square, but the body shape is the same. Yeah, it's just that this is a bigger decanter. Yeah, so the format of this one is the same. So I went down to my shed, had a rumble around. I found, so this stopper here has never been fitted to anything. Yeah, it's one that just plonks in and sits in. Okay, and that is the kind I'm looking for. So if I plonk it in, it kind of sits about right. It's a little bit higher than this one, but it's about right. It's about the same shape. So I'm going with that one. Yeah. It doesn't fit tightly, but neither does this one. See, this is the original one. If you look, this pattern here is actually this pattern here. So this is an original because it's got matching patterns between the stopper and the body. Unless someone did that, but I don't think so. The person selling it to me didn't know what it was, so I don't think dealers have messed around with that one. Then there's this one. Now this one's in a similar boat. This stopper, yeah. So this stopper looks like it potentially has been cut down in modern times. Not definitely, but that is a really weird shape. Yeah, I think it's an Irish decanter or an Irish one potentially.
I have another Irish decanter with the original stopper that's like this. Excuse me. So, yeah, I don't think this is, it's not original. This one has got a bit of roughing, but it's only like about a centimetre. And some of the stoppers that you get have a little bit of roughing on them to go with ones which have a little bit of roughing in there. I'm going to pop away to a book now and try and show you kind of what kind of choices I had and what's in the book. No exact matches for this. It's a bit of an odd barrel shape, but if you look at the base, the way the base is, it's the same kind of base where you would have room here to put the name of the company, but it doesn't have it. Broken pontil in the middle, and then you've got this little bit of ribbing, and you've got to smooth this bit, and then this ribbing here. So this dip mold, it's called, is the same between all of these decanters, and it's a very Irish thing. Didn't do it in the UK. So let me show you something in the book. This book is called Irish Glass by Phelps Warren. Now, it doesn't have an exact match. What it does have, so there's different classes of decanters from the Irish period. There's ones which have there's dip moulding and either no cutting or just with engraved pattern, no cutting at all, just engraving, just like the first one that we looked at there. In fact, the two that I showed you earlier. Then you have ones with this shallow cutting, which is probably pre-steam. Okay, so you're talking pre-1800. And then you have ones which are heavily cut. But anyway, you've got this one here. I'm a bit dubious of this stopper. I've seen this pattern, one that's in the Dublin Museum, I think. Oh no, this one's in the National Museum, but with a different stopper, much lighter stopper that looks like it would go with it. This one, and this is the problem, this one's got no stopper value, got a big chunk missing off it, but it's that cutting. You've got one here, so this one has got some cutting in it. It even has some diamond shapes like the one we were looking at, but not quite the same. But then this stopper doesn't look original. It looks too low. You should be able to see the shoulder of the stopper there, and then the base of the peg is just right down inside it, which doesn't look really quite right. You might see a little bit of it down there, but not all the way down here, almost down to the second ring. So I think that stopper there is not right for this decanter either, even though this is a textbook. Then when you look on here, that looks right, but that's completely uncut. This is the engraved ones. Yeah, they're going sideways. This one's look kind of right, but these two have got no stopper at all. And then you've got this one, but this is engraved. It has a molded mushroom, okay, with a ball in it, but it looks about the right height. So maybe that is right. And then you've got this one with no, and yeah, it's got this one is close in shape to what we've got, but yeah, no stopper. You've got this one. This does have a stopper, waffle stopper, with some engraving as well. And let me show you what's on the next page. So you've got this one here. So you've got the same fattish one, not quite the same shape as ours, and it's got this stopper which is completely uncut with a ball. Yeah, and it just so happens I have one of these and it does kind of fit. It doesn't look quite right, but it does look more right than what I've got. I think if I had more of these, I might go with that because that is closer, but I don't. So I've got this. I think it looks better than what I've got. So I will show you that now. So here we go. back with the table again. This is what was on it originally, sitting like that. And you can see actually the peg comes right down into the second ring, which is not really right. And it actually, if you look at the colour, it looks kind of a bit more purpley in colour than the bottle, so the colour's not right either. And it's actually fitted to fit a bit more tightly than it does, because it just wobbles around. And if I show you inside the lip here, you can see it's got a little bit of roughing in it to fit a stopper, but it's not properly roughed all the way like a proper shank. Now, this is the stopper I've got. Now, this has got more roughing than I would like it to have. It hasn't been recut by somebody, because you can see it's got quite a smoothie patch there, and then it's rougher at the top and the bottom. So, and also it's very close to the natural, which means that you wouldn't have a lot of room to cut into it. Yeah, because there's the natural glass there on the corner. Yeah, so not, when they've roughed this, they've not taken a lot off it. Otherwise that would come to an abrupt end, a bit like that one does. Can you see? That doesn't become to abrupt end. This one doesn't. So anyway, this is the one I think is closer. The colour is a bit better, and yeah, it sits a bit high, but I think it's more right than this one. I think it's probably closer a bit. This one looks like a steam cut one. This one, it's not cut at all. So yeah, anyway, still not as good as I'd like. I would swap it out in an instant if I saw a better one. I think this is good. I think this is as close as you're going to get. So I don't normally do this. Nearly all of my Irish decanters I've got original stoppers in, or no stopper. But these were £70 each, which I think was a bargain. And I've got these stoppers, and these ones, although they're period, these are proper, you know, early 19th century stoppers, both of them. These look better, I think. This one would probably trick a lot of people as well into thinking it's right, but then none of them were ever properly fitted, and the original might have been that wobbly, because even that one is pretty wobbly, and a lot of the others that I've got are pretty wobbly, even though they look right, and I'm quite happy in most cases that that's what it came with. Anyway, this is what I bought. They were £70 each. I think they were a bargain. Obviously, I'm the kind of person that lurks around on eBay looking for things, but proper retails for these should be double that, really, I think. But so yeah, I'm more than happy, and I think I've got, this one is a very good fit. I think this one less so, but it's okay for now. So there you have it. That's what we bought. That was me being a slightly dodgy geezer with my stoppers, but it's for me. I'm not a dealer. I'm not going to be showing off. In fact, actually, let me show. Just so happens I still have on my desk over here previous Irish decanters I bought. I've got a pair of these. They've got exactly the same stopper, and yeah, because look, they're barely fitted. I mean, it's the same as that one we were looking at. There's a bit of wear, you know, a little bit of roughing there, a little bit of roughing there, but that's not proper. That's proper early Irish quality decanters, which is not good. So anyway, yeah, I think this is the end of the films that I'm going to have from my trip to Stourbridge until I think it's next May. I think. But anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this. I enjoyed going to Stourbridge. It was
yes, it was great. And I would hire anybody that's interested in collecting or dealing in glass. Go, you've got to go, because you're just going around and chatting, you're gonna learn so much, you know, and that's what this community is about, is learning this business. Well, it's not business, it's our history. So anyway, with that said, the references I used will be in the description below. I will leave all of the dealers' names in the description as well that I've dealt with. There's a few that I don't think I've got contacts for, if I can get them. Yeah, anyway, yeah, all the references, description below. Dealers will stay in the description as well. And please remember to like and subscribe, because it helps me push this hobby out to more people. And so thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good evening. Good night.